Hello traders, this is Rich from Tradesight. This is our market preview for the coming session. This is going to be for Wednesday, November 13th, 2013. We pretty much a do-nothing day today where we had the NASDAQ up a bit, but the broad market was fairly weak. The ES was a little bit lower on the day. The NQs were up 10 handles. I think the only real feature today was the fact that the New York Stock Exchange advanced declines were minus 800 issues today, which was fairly negative after some kind of lackluster performance from the previous session. Here's a look at the ES futures. I'm going to try and keep it brief tonight since we really didn't do too much on a technical basis here. The ES futures really did nothing on the day. Kind of just used the 10 EMA for support at the low. Lost a little bit of ground on the day, but are still basically kind of within the range of the important Thursday candle. So no real change there. NASDAQ futures we're a little bit higher on the day, but again, we're still kind of contained within that big down day from Thursday. So net we really don't have anything to show for it. Levels are the same. The move high is key resistance at 3402. 8 days at 3437 is going to be important resistance, and the swing low from Thursday at about 3312 is going to be important support. The Dow, after making a new high close on the move yesterday, had kind of a distribution day. We closed below the day's open, off of range high, which is never positive, but essentially we're still really contained within the previous Thursday candle here. So that's really the driving force. Here's a look at the cumulative advanced declines, and they're not particularly impressive. The New York Stock Exchange is starting to roll over here a little bit. We're kind of rolling back down below that breakout level, even though the Dow is making new highs. So that's never a positive thing. NASDAQ side still holding above the general breakout area here, which is positive, but doesn't really show any kind of a nice upward bias that you would really want to hang your hat on as a comfortable bull in the market right now. So a little bit of a pullback here in the S&P TLT cross. These things are always notable. We're just kind of failing here at the previous regression level. So this is an area that could be a little bit of a concern. So I want to make sure that we don't really start to develop a downward bias here. If we do, that would be definitely certainly a negative macro development. But we'll have to see how this plays out. Too early to tell. One day, as we always like to say, does not make a trend. Here's a look at the 10-day trend. That's on the top here versus the S&P below. 10-day trend is actually getting fairly close to that overbought 0.85 threshold. That's the red level here. If we do record that, then we're going to be on heightened alert for a reversal back to the downside. All right, here's the multi-sector daily cross, and I think we're kind of bifurcated here. We had some weakness in the XAU for sure. Really kind of very, very weak today. The banking index was fairly weak. The semiconductors as well as the banks, though, I'm sorry, the BTK did hold up fairly well. So +2, -2, which is just kind of a push, and that kind of really just fits with the tape for the last 2 days. So hopefully we'll get some kind of resolution of this for tomorrow. All right, so let's take a look at the sectors. Let's rank them from best to worst. The airline index was definitely top gun. The transportation average was strong again today, which is very positive. The mitigating factor with the transports being near the top of the list was that the oil services and the XOY were much weaker than the overall market. So that kind of takes a little wind out of the sails in the market. So it's okay to take a break here, have a pause, but don't want to see this turn to a trend where these two key sectors start to lose their leadership. The XAU was certainly the last laggard on the day. The BTK was fairly positive, outperforming the Nasdaq on a whole, and the banking index was just kind of middling here, up on the day, but definitely not impressive. All right, so starting from best to worst, here's the transportation index. Up on the day, but wasn't really strong enough to record a new high on the move. If we do continue up, the previous swing high here is going to be important, and then above that, that 7,200 area, which is the 6/8 level, is going to be very important. To the downside, near-term support is going to remain at the Thursday low, about 69.36. Let's take a look at the oil services next, which is kind of the complement to that, which was real weak. We did have this pretty strong candle up here. Didn't make a new high on the move, but was pretty strong. Had this pretty sharp down day today. So we're essentially still in this lateral trading range. Just want to be on guard here to make sure this doesn't turn into a double top by losing this 4/8 level. So for now, this 4/8 level is going to be very, very key support for the oil services. XAU was really, really weak today. Made a new low close on the move. As you can see here, here's the dark body candle making that new low close. Only bright point though is that we held above the static trend line, and we're now 9 bars down in the secret count. So small positive there. We'll have to see if we can pivot off of this and then start to bounce to the upside and perhaps set up yet another higher low here. BTK index was higher on the day, but is still kind of nowhere, still kind of trapped between the 10 and the 50 period moving averages, and also within the previous range. So really no new technical developments other than this range expansion candle to the upside here. This pivot candle is still carrying through to the upside with momentum. So the bulls have that going for them, but technically it doesn't really do anything until we make a new high over this 8/8 level. The other thing I want to take a look at today, though, is the TLT, because we've got the 30-year auction tomorrow. We've declined back down into the 0/8 area here on the Murray Math box on the daily time frame. So this is really key support. It was key support back here in August, and then later on in September. And so we want to make sure that this level holds and can provide a pivot here to hook back up here to the upside. If this continues to the downside, that's going to be a real big development for the market, and should definitely influence the flows into or out of the equity markets depending on which way it goes. So big deal. Let's make sure we take a look at this to see where this thing settles out on Friday after the auction results tomorrow, and then the little kind of digestion period, if you don't mind, between now and the end of the week. So that's going to be pretty important stuff. All right, folks, as always, thanks for listening. This has been Rich for Tradesight.